Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show?
With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Joey Harris, and we are broadcasting from makeshift studios in the shadow of South Central Virginia. Follow the show on Twitter and Blue Sky at Cup of Joe Pod. Email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. You can support the show at paypal.me/cupofjoepod. I am on Cash App and Venmo at the Joey Harris. And of course, patreon.com/babykangaroo media for bonus episodes of the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show, the Joey Harris Super Show, the Green Room, the Book Club, Baristas, and so much more. Just $5 a month for hours of extra content. And folks, today, right off at the start, I just wanted to send out my condolences to the friends, fans, and family of Brand Hamada, who passed away recently. Japanese wrestler who really embraced the lucha libre style. So our condolences go out to those who loved and cared for him, as well as, folks, I've got big things coming in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that, as today we look at the 1995 Royal Rumble from the WWF. The 1995 Royal Rumble was shown on pay-per-view on January the 22nd, 1995 from the USF Sundome in Tampa, Florida. There were 10,000 in attendance, and the show did 225,000 pay-per-view buys. A limo arrives and Pamela Anderson gets out. She is greeted warmly by the WWF superstars, whistling at her and other things. Insert eye roll here, folks. We then get our intro. Vince McMahon welcomes us to the Royal Rumble. He and Jerry Lawler are the announcers for the event and run down some of what we are going to see. WWF Intercontinental Championship match. Razor Ramon versus Jeff Jarrett with the Roadie. And folks, I have to say here, I thought it was so funny just thinking back on this time because I didn't know people. I watched wrestling whenever I could, and I thought the Roadie, the first time I saw him, I didn't see him directly. I thought it was the Boston Bad Boy, Tony Rumble. And then I saw him up close with Jeff Jarrett, and I'm like, oh, that's not Tony Rumble. And then found out later that it was Brian Armstrong, one of the Armstrong boys. So I just remember that coming back to me as now they are a duo. Jarrett and Roadie out first. Ramon with a fantastic ovation when he comes out. It takes a while to get started. Jarrett tries to attack Ramon, but Ramon takes Jarrett down. Back and forth. Ramon with a choke slam, but Jarrett bails out to regroup. Jarrett with an arm drag. They trade moves. Jarrett with a drop toe hold. Jarrett clothesline to the outside. Jarrett stalls when he comes back in. Ramon with an armbar on Jarrett. Jarrett gets loose and hits a series of drop kicks and a leapfrog body guillotine on Ramon. He gets a 2 count. They duck each other's moves. Jarrett with a rear chin lock. Ramon gets out and they trade clotheslines. This is an even pace match. Jarrett with a series of covers but can't get the pin. Jarrett with a sleeper. He hits a neck breaker. Jarrett puts his feet on the ropes but gets caught. Ramon crotches Jarrett on a ring post. Ramon gets a 2 count. Ramon thrown outside. His knee is hurt and the Roadie clips Ramon's injured knee. Ramon gets counted out. Jarrett gets on the mic and says Ramon is a coward and goads Ramon back into the ring. Ramon gets in and Jarrett attacks the weakened leg. Ramon falls in pain. Jarrett with several pin attempts before going back to attacking the leg. Ramon kicks Jarrett away. Jarrett puts the figure 4 on Ramon. Ramon is fighting the pain. He starts punching Jarrett to break the hold. Ramon with a comeback. Ramon puts Jarrett on the top rope. He does a belly-to-back suplex and both men roll through pin attempts. Ramon goes for the razor's edge, but his leg gives out. Jarrett with a small package to pin Ramon and become the new Intercontinental Champion. Stephanie Wyan waits to interview Jarrett. Todd Pettengill interviews Pamela Anderson, who is in a room filled with gifts from the wrestlers. Pettengill tries to flirt with Anderson. Wyan finally gets to interview Jarrett. He tells her that he is on his Ain't I Great tour. IRS with Ted DiBiase versus The Undertaker with Paul Bearer. IRS and DiBiase out first. Undertaker and Bearer out to a great ovation. It takes a while to get started. IRS stalling. He attacks Undertaker from behind with a drop kick. Undertaker no sells. IRS bails to the outside. He gets back in and avoids the Undertaker. He then rolls out again. He goes after Bearer. Undertaker gets IRS in the ring. Undertaker attacks IRS. Undertaker with several corner whips. He pulls IRS down by his tie. Undertaker does old school. DiBiase gets up on the apron. Undertaker goes after him and clotheslines IRS out. DiBiase signals for the Druids to come out. Undertaker goes for old school again, but one of the Druids shakes the ropes. Undertaker clothesline to the outside and the Druids are there. He grabs the Druids by the throat. IRS attacks Undertaker from behind. He throws Undertaker into the ring steps. The Druids attack Undertaker and throw him back in. IRS continues the attack. IRS with an abdominal stretch. Undertaker hip tosses his way out. Back and forth. IRS with a back elbow on the clothesline. He follows it up with a leg drop. He misses a splash when Undertaker moves. They collide in the ring and both men are down. DiBiase distracts the referee so a Druid can put IRS on Undertaker, but Undertaker kicks out at 2. Undertaker grabs the Druid. IRS grabs the Undertaker. Undertaker gets IRS up for the tombstone. Both Druids interfere, and the wrestlers both go down. IRS attacks Undertaker, but the Undertaker hits a choke slam and gets the pin. The Druids were Jimmy Del Rey and Ron Harris, no relation. They attack the Undertaker after the match. He takes them out. King Kong Bundy comes in and attacks Undertaker as IRS grabs Paul Bearer's urn. He leaves with the urn as Bundy continues the attack on the Undertaker. He leaves Undertaker prone in the ring. Bearer encourages the crowd to cheer, and the Undertaker rises. Todd Pettengill interviews Diesel. Diesel says he's too busy to talk. Pettengill then tries to talk to Bret Hart. He says that the title is all he can think about. McMahon and Lawler then talk about what we just saw. WWF Championship match, Diesel versus Bret Hart. Hart out first to a tremendous ovation. He does his sunglasses presentation. Diesel comes out and greets Lawrence Taylor at ringside. That's called foreshadowing, kids. He gets a good reception as well. Hart's was probably bigger. The bell rings. They lock up and Diesel pushes off. Hart goes for the leg, but Diesel gets to the ropes. They trade blows. They both avoid strikes. Hart clothesline to the outside. Diesel then stops Hart from getting in. Hart grabs Diesel by the leg and runs it into the corner post. He goes to work on the leg. Diesel is trying to fight to get out. He gets up, but Hart knocks him back down and puts the figure 4 on. Diesel gets to the bottom rope. Bret breaks, but goes back to attacking the leg and then puts the figure 4 on again. Diesel fighting the pain. He gets back to the ropes, but Hart is slow to break the hold. He attacks Diesel again. He kicks Diesel out and then hits a tope to Diesel. Diesel reverses an Irish whip and runs Hart into the ring steps. Back in the ring, Diesel hits a corner whip. Diesel hits Hart with elbows to the corner. A side slam gives Diesel a 2 count. He hits Hart with a leapfrog body guillotine. Diesel hits a delayed backbreaker. Diesel gets a 2 count. Back and forth in the corner. Diesel with an over-the-shoulder backbreaker. Hart fights out. Diesel with a big boot. Diesel with a corner charge. Hart gets his foot up on the charge. Hart goes up top, but gets caught. Diesel goes to slam Hart, but Hart punches Diesel and falls on him for a 2 count. Hart thrown to the outside. Hart grabs Diesel by the legs and ties them together around the ring post with his wrist tape. Hart attacks Diesel while the referee frees Diesel. Hart hits a bulldog for a 2 count. Hart with a side Russian leg sweep and a backbreaker. He hits a second rope elbow drop for a 2 count. Hart goes for the sharpshooter, but Diesel gets to the ropes. Diesel clothesline to the outside, but lands on his feet and catches Hart when Hart goes for another tope. Diesel drives Hart into the ring steps. He throws Hart back in. Diesel hits the jackknife. He covers Hart, but Shawn Michaels comes in and attacks Diesel. Referee Earl Hebner throws Michaels out. Howard Finkel announces that the match must continue. Hart attacks Diesel's injured leg. He goes back to the figure 4. Diesel gets out. They attack each other. Diesel goes after Hart's ribs. He hits a gut-wrench suplex. Hart moves on a big boot attempt. He runs Diesel's leg into the ring post and hits it with a chair. He goes and applies the sharpshooter. Owen Hart comes in and attacks Bret. He takes off a turnbuckle pad and runs Bret into the exposed buckle. Hebner orders the match to continue again. Diesel gets back to his feet. He covers Bret for a 2 count. Bret runs Diesel into the exposed buckle, back and forth. Diesel knocks Bret out of the ring and he gets caught upside down on the ropes. Diesel grabs a chair to hit Bret, but he gets out before Diesel can. Bret back in the ring, but collapses to the ground. Diesel comes over and Bret gets a small package for a 2 count. Bret goes for a roll-up, but Hebner gets taken out, and all 3 men are down. Shawn Michaels, Bob Backlund, and Owen Hart all come in and start beating on Bret and Diesel. Jeff Jarrett and the Roadie also come in. Officials out to break it up. The match is declared a draw. Backlund puts the chicken wing on Bret. Diesel fights off the other heels and saves Bret. The crowd gives Diesel and Bret a standing ovation as they embrace after the match. Todd Pettengill is in Pamela Anderson's dressing room as she changes behind the screen. Stephanie Wine interviews the 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Holly. They say they are the Cinderella team and will get their chance tonight. WWF World Tag Team Championship Tournament Final. Tatanka and Bam Bam Bigelow with Ted DiBiase versus the 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Holly. The Kid and Holly get a good reaction when they come out. Holly and Tatanka start. Holly with a side headlock. Tatanka comes back with chops. Tatanka with a side slam. Holly with a drop kick. Bigelow tagged in and Holly with a drop toe hold. Kid tagged in and Bigelow throws him around. Kid comes back with a Hurricane Rana. Bigelow slams Kid down for a 2 count. Tatanka tagged in. Tatanka hits a corner whip. Bigelow tagged in. Kid with a drop kick. Bigelow with a suplex. He knocks Kid down. Bigelow falls outside. All 4 in. Bigelow and Tatanka were thrown into each other. Holly gets a 2 count on Tatanka. Bigelow pulls the ropes down and Holly spills to the outside. He gets back in and Tatanka drops an elbow. Tatanka with clotheslines. He follows it up with a power slam. The Kid breaks up the tag, but hits Holly. Bigelow comes in and accidentally hits Tatanka. Both teams inadvertently hit each other. Tatanka lures Kid away from the corner so Holly can't tag out. Holly gets splashed by Bigelow. Holly was thrown out of the ring. He comes back with a sunset flip attempt, but Bigelow splashes down. Bigelow gets several 2 counts. Tatanka tagged in. He hits the clothesline. Back and forth. Double crossbody and both men are down. A double count is going. Bigelow and the Kid both tagged in. Kid hits a series of drop kicks and hits Tatanka with a suicide dive on the outside. Bigelow throws Kid out of the ring. Tatanka throws Kid in and Bigelow goes up top for a moonsault. Tatanka inadvertently hits the ropes and Bigelow falls down. Holly takes out Tatanka. A double count is going. The Kid turns over and covers and we have new tag team champions. They celebrate in the ring and then leave. Bigelow gets back to his feet. DiBiase and Tatanka have left. Fans are taunting him and he is yelling at them. He goes over to Lawrence Taylor, who was laughing at him. LT gets up and offers his hand. Bigelow pushes LT down and leaves. Security and his entourage restrain LT as an LT chant goes out. Flashback to Diesel's huge 1994 Royal Rumble and him getting eliminated by Shawn Michaels. Michaels then says he is going to win this year's Royal Rumble. They then show the ending of the previous Rumble when Bret Hart and Lex Luger both won. Luger then says 1995 is his year. Vince McMahon then apologizes to Lawrence Taylor from the WWF. Howard Finkel introduces Pamela Anderson. We then get the 1995 Royal Rumble. Number 1, Shawn Michaels. Number 2, the British Bulldog. He comes out looking determined. Michaels attacks Bulldog right away. Bulldog press slams Michaels. He corner whips Michaels, but he doesn't go out. Michaels tied up in the ropes. Number 3, Eli Blue. He attacks Bulldog and Michaels. Number 4, Duke Drosy. The heels immediately attack him. Drosy with a bear hug on Michaels. Number 5, Jimmy Del Rey. He attacks Drosy. He almost eliminates Michaels. Number 6, Sione. He tries to eliminate Michaels. Del Rey eliminated. Number 7, Tom Pritchard. Michaels almost eliminated by Sione. Number 8, Doink. The crowd loves him. Wrestlers pairing off again. Number 9, Quang. The group tries to eliminate Bulldog. Number 10, Rick Martel. Michaels was almost eliminated by Quang. Number 11, Owen Hart, and the crowd really hates him. Bret Hart comes out and attacks Owen in the aisle. Officials get Bret off. Number 12, Timothy Well. Owen and Drosy eliminated. Well, Martel, and Pritchard all eliminated. Quang eliminates Doink. Number 13, Bushwhacker Luke. Eli Blue clotheslines Sione, and they both go over. Quang eliminated. Luke eliminated. Bulldogs and Michaels are the only 2 left in the ring. Bulldog suplexes Michaels. Number 13, Jacob Blue. He attacks both Michaels and Bulldog. He rushes Michaels, who backdrops Blue out. Bulldog tries to get Michaels out. Number 15, King Kong Bundy. The crowd boos. He tries to eliminate Bulldog. Michaels tries to get Bundy out. Number 16, Mo. Bundy immediately eliminates Mo. Bulldog tries to eliminate Bundy. Number 17, Mabel. He and Bundy get face to face. They trade blows. Number 18, Bushwhacker Butch. Mabel and Bundy try to get Michaels out. Number 19, Lex Luger. He attacks everyone and eliminates Mabel. He tries to get Michaels out. Number 20, Mantar. He attacks Bulldog and everyone pairs off again. Number 21, Aldo Montoya. He tries to eliminate Michaels. Luger and Bulldog double team Mantar. Number 22, Henry Godwin. He goes after Montoya. Pam Anderson is shown looking on. Number 23, Billy Gunn. Forearms are flying. Number 24, Bart Gunn. He attacks Mantar. Number 25, Bob Backlund. He gets up on the apron and Bret Hart comes back out and attacks Backlund. Officials out to break it up. Number 26, Stephen Dunn. Luger eliminates Backlund. Bret attacks Backlund again as he is leaving. Number 27, Dick Murdoch. He attacks everyone. Number 28, Adam Bomb. He comes out to a huge ovation. Number 29, Fatu. Luger eliminates Mantar. Number 30, Crush. Both guns are eliminated. Dunn eliminated. Crush eliminates Adam Bomb. Montoya eliminated. Fatu eliminated by Crush. Dick Murdoch goes out trying to eliminate Godwin. Godwin was eliminated by Luger. Michaels and Luger fighting. Luger is then eliminated by Michaels. Michaels and Crush team up on Bulldog. They double team Bulldog, who then comes back and eliminates Crush. The crowd is on their feet for the finish, back and forth. Michaels almost eliminated several times. He goes over, but both feet do not hit the floor. Bulldog celebrates and gets on the second rope as his music plays. Michaels comes from behind to eliminate Bulldog and win the Rumble. They show Michaels hanging on. Pamela Anderson comes in the ring with Michaels as he celebrates, and they sign off from Tampa. Final thoughts. This was an okay show that starts the setup for WrestleMania. You can follow me on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram at @TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or your preferred podcast app. I would really appreciate it. We can also be found on Spotify and YouTube. Just search for The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you for joining me. This is Joey saying so long from the heart of Virginia.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.